Hey guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance on my other channel. On this channel, I talk about other things, like today when I'll be reviewing the new Nollywood film currently on Prime Video globally, The Fire and the Moth. Now, this review will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers or you actually want to watch the movie, please go and watch the film on Prime Video and then come back to watch this review. That said, before I dive into the performances, I need to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, right, about this film. So it's a film about a smuggler who takes possession of a very valuable bronze statue, which he's meant to deliver to his employer so that he can get paid, right? But along the way, his mission gets thwarted by the police and he has to abandon his car and the statue in the car, but he later retrieves the statue, right? And he's now on the run and he's injured, he's wounded because he got shot in the back. And as he's on the run or in hiding, the police is after him. Also, a hitman from Europe is after him, and a border control agent is after him. And they all either want his life or they want what he's in possession of. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There are lots of people after Saba's life and what he has in his possession in this film. That said, let's just dive into the performances. I'm not going to look at the performances individually for personal reasons, but I will highlight the main characters in this film and then talk about the performances generally. Faniran plays Saba in this film. He's the smuggler. Dima Okojie plays Abike, and she's like an accomplice in the film. Jimmy Jean-Louis plays the hitman from Europe. And Olarotimi Fakunle plays the corrupt cop in the movie. And finally, William Benson, he plays the persistent border control agent in the movie, right? So these are like the main characters. Generally, with the primary characters and the secondary characters, I felt like the acting was not fantastic in this film. And I'm kind of on the fence about that. What I do know for sure is that the line delivery in this film was not great. I wasn't impressed with how people were delivering their lines in this movie. But generally, I wasn't too pleased with the acting in this film. And also, quick note on the casting decision of particularly for Dima Okojie, who is a really good actress. I just don't think she was the person to cast alongside Faniran. I was struggling there. What I liked the tension in the final act of this film, where Jimmy Jean-Louis' character actually tracks down Faniran's character, and there's a bit of a showdown and a cat and mouse thing going on in the house and in the forest, right? So the tension there wasn't too bad. I also liked that this film had a high body count because lots of people drop like flies in this film, and I felt that was a bit bold. Yeah, so those are the things I liked about this film. What I didn't like, as I mentioned earlier, I was not a fan of the acting in this film or the line delivery. I found it to be clunky and awkward. The thing I really didn't like about this film was how implausible so many things were in this movie. In fact, in the first 5 minutes of this film turned me off with how ridiculous certain things were. In the beginning, when, Faniran's character, Saba he takes possession of the bronze statue, and then, police are coming towards him, they're firing in his direction. They give us the impression that the engine takes a bullet, right? And therefore, the car cannot start again. So Tayo takes off on foot. Fine. Shortly after the police chase him for a little while, they go back and they take his car. This same car that did not start when Saba was in it after it took a bullet, it starts just well and good. It starts fine for the police, who now then drive it off. Make it make sense. Speaking of bullets, when they chase Saba for a little bit, he takes a bullet in the back. For the entirety of this film, the bullet is lodged in his back. It's a gunshot wound. But they treat that thing like it's a minor inconvenience. I mean, he holds it a bit. He looks like he's in pain. But it's a freaking gunshot wound. And he carries on and does so much in this film with that thing lodged in his back. It felt quite implausible. It would have made more sense if... It would have been obvious, yes, but it would have made more sense if they got a doctor or somebody to take that bullet out. Another implausible thing, especially concerning gunshot wounds, is that he also got shot again in the final act of the film when Jimmy Jean-Louis' character was chasing him in the forest. He gets shot in the leg, but yet he continues, he carries on. Anyway, still on implausible things in this film. The flamethrower, ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. That thing was in the film I think because of the title of the film, The Fire and the Moth. So they had to have some fire in the film. So therefore, the hitman, who is meant to be like some kind of psychopath, but they don't really develop that or do that well. He's hauling around a flamethrower, which he uses to roast his victims every now and then. They did that because I think, personal opinion, the inspiration of this film was the 2007 Coen brothers film, No Country for Old Men. So yes, those were the things that I did not like about this film. I can name a few more for you, but let's leave it at that. In conclusion, this is a cat and mouse, catch me if you can kind of film. And the plot wasn't too bad, but I think my issue with it was the execution. The execution felt like it could have been so much better. And this is the second Taiwo Egunjobi film I'm seeing. And unfortunately, it's the second one that I don't like. The first one being All Na Vibes, and then this one. I need to see his other films, Green Fever and Inibadon. Green Fever, I heard, was particularly good. Let me rate it. I rate this film, The Fire and the Moth, 1 jollof over 5. Even that one, why I'm giving it, probably because of Jimmy Jean-Louis, who is a really good actor and who did justice to the character. The character would have been better if they made him look like more of a psycho, because only a psycho will be hauling around a flamethrower in a movie, right? He's a bad guy, he's ruthless, but they could have done more to make him look intimidating and as skilled as he was, because he's just going from here to there in this film, infiltrating people's, hideouts and stuff without any opposition and just easily doing it. It wasn't gelling. I feel like the problem mainly with this film was attention to detail, explaining small little things. Coming to Dima Okojie's character Abike, she just suddenly takes to Faniran's character Saba. This man comes into her home, takes her and her sister at gunpoint, and they harbor him. But very quickly, without any reason, they warm up to him before they even know that he has a valuable artifact with him that they can make money from, right? Before they even know that, they're already accommodating of the guy, and that just didn't make sense. So many things, like I said earlier in this film, they were implausible. Guys, I hope I haven't wasted your time with this review. If you enjoyed this review, do me a favor and like the video by clicking on the like button, and subscribe to this channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews. Sometimes I talk about other things. So check out some of my past reviews. You can click the card in the corner of the screen. I got a bit worked up, and I didn't want to get worked up, but just thinking back on this film and how things could have been done better and how... Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. If you've seen The Fire and the Moth, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it.